Greetings, salutations, and hello to all my freaks and creeps. I'm your host, VideoVomit. Today is an interesting show. We got a ton of designer toys to rifle through and look at. These are going to be designer action figures. These are all like, you go out to Toys R Us, right? R.I.P. You go out to your Toys R Us or Walmart. You find some action figures. You will not find these action figures at a Target or Walmart or Toys R Us or something. These are all figures that you kind of have to go and dig around on the internet a little bit. I got most of these toys on a little website called BigBadToyStore.com. So there you go. There's a free plug for it. Most of the figures that I buy online, I'll usually go there. So a good majority of these have actually been bought there. So let's just jump right in. A lot of these have a cool dystopian future vibe going on, and that's kind of what we got going on here in our real world too. So I thought it was kind of appropriate. So first we're going to start off with the Acid Rain figures by Ori Toy. That is O-R-I Toy. So these figures down here, they have, they're on the 1/18th scale. So these are around the same size as they're like the 3.75 figures, so they're, around the same size as like a Kenner Star Wars figure or your average G.I. Joe figure or something like that. You don't really see those too often. But so this Acid Rain figure series is kind of like a version of G.I. Joe, if you will, where they have tons of vehicles and mech robots and stuff. But it's all a designer kind of aspect, a whole like post-apocalyptic type of vibe going for it. First I want to talk about the actual figures themselves. So down here, so these are really cool. They have this they're like weathered and textured. Like the paint apps on these are incredible. They have an extreme amount of detail. You can take off the helmets and their armor, and they all have this it kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Solid a little. Kind of reminds me of something like Blade Runner. We got one of our main dudes here. His name's Bob. Great name for a hero. Make it simple. But then you have others like here. I'll just move this out of the way. You have this one right here, which is really cool. It's a mix between like cloth soft goods. I don't know if you can see that underneath there. And then it has like other good like rubber parts on top of it. So it kind of gives this like gritty, realistic kind of aesthetic to it. There's also like a whole kind of like lore behind these things. It's like the world is completely polluted and everyone needs like these gas masks and stuff to survive. And then we have some robots here, which is really cool. They're like these like doll droid things. So there's like a red one that I have here, which is pretty cool. Apparently he guards shipping containers. So just like the same figure here, but they have two completely different paint styles, and which is really cool. I really like the red one. It really stands out. It has like metal paint chips out of there and stuff. So much detail goes into just making these, or just painting them. So much detail goes into that, which I can definitely appreciate. And if you like these kind of things, I think you could probably appreciate that too. So now I want to talk about this one, but I have his packaging as well. So this one is the Forest Viking shield. He's kind of like a more heavy armored figure, it's kind of like your Call of Duty's, your heavier version of a character or something like that, like a class or something in a video game. This one's more of a heavy gunner or something like that. He's got heavier armor. So that's actually really cool. And so all of these figures have armor and all these pieces that you can actually take off. So this guy is actually just like a basic figure, but underneath all of that he has, just his regular body. I'm trying to take off his helmet without ripping his head off. There we go. And so there's like a normal dude under there. I think, you can even take off his little bootsies, his little shoes. So that's really cool. Like that they made this figure, a basic figure, and then they're like, let's make some armor for him. That'd be cool, right? So yeah, really awesome. And so we'll move these little figs out of the way, and then we'll get to talking about some of the cooler, bigger stuff that we got here. So this is a Laurel. That's what it's called. It's like a mech suit. Now this one, I actually customized myself. Yeah, you can actually tell. So some of the other ones have very again, they're very good paint jobs and stuff. But I just wanted to make mine one of a kind. That's just kind of a pretentious douche I am. So I had to paint it, and I decided to go with like a seaside kind of like rust look. So it has this like where he's been like guarding a beach or something like that for like like this robot mech has been passed down a couple times or something like that. I added some paint notches there, as in like that's how many kills we got, or something like that. And I also added this like little tank top. I gave this robot a tank top. But it was actually from Max Toy Co. Vinyl Safubi. It was like a little cute little tank. But I thought that it actually kind of added something to the top there. So I did attach it. And then you can open up this robot suit, and then you have a little another acid rain figure inside. And so this one's cool because he has like a skull painted on his face. Now I didn't do that. That actually came like that. Again, you can flip his little helmet up. That's really cool. And then you can actually take the helmet off. You can take his vest off. You can do all that kind of stuff. So much detail just like packed into like a tiny figure that's like 3 inches tall. Like that's kind of unheard of. You'd never see something like that in like your local like store, because that's just too much money. People they wouldn't pay that much money for these things in a regular store, and then these things aren't made in high quantities for everybody, so they're a little bit more highly sought after, kind of like the Safubi stuff that we've talked about before. This is just kind of like for a little bit, they collect something different in the designer toy realm. So one last thing with the Laurel, he has this like cool little button on his back, and to simulate the hydraulics of the machine, closing up the lid there, it like does that for you. So I thought that was actually actually pretty cool little detail. So yeah, there's actually a really huge community for these guys. I'm part of a Facebook group on Facebook for Acid Rain figures, so you could definitely look that up. Lots of customizers, like not just me with customizing my little Laurel here. There's people that make completely from scratch like their own stuff, or they'll like repurpose an old G.I. Joe something or whatever, or some model cars, and then they'll like rust them up, weather them, make them look all crazy looking. And so I can really appreciate that. I think that's really cool. So we're going to move on to the biggest part of our Acid Rain figures. Now I got this a couple of years ago for, I believe it was my birthday. Haha. So this is called Four Eyes. This is like a moving fortress, pretty much. I did do some customization on the back panel here. It says, "Mess with the best, die like the rest." Yeah, I had to put some like cheesy ass shit on there. So actually, you can see here, I haven't done that yet, but you can actually put batteries in there, and then when you open up the cockpit, you can actually like turn on these. There's like these. Oh man, it's hard to see in there, but there's like little monitors, and they actually light up. And another cool thing, I'll turn it upside down. You can actually, he's got a little poster of a woman on the inside of the cockpit there, because sometimes when you're driving, you get a little lonely, I guess, when you're driving a giant robot tank. But he's actually a transformable figure, but before I transform him, I just wanted to show you the box really quick. So they come in these huge boxes, and they actually, because they have like textured paint on them and stuff, they actually give you this little kind of somewhat creepy little hole to stick your finger in and feel the painted detail. But just like look at that box art. Like, that is so cool. That is like, you can tell that was like hand painted, or I could be wrong. But yeah, like, it's just so cool. I really enjoy some art like that, and it fits with that whole post-apocalyptic vibe we're going with today. So yeah, let's transform this guy really quick, and then we can move on to our other designer figures. He does transform, so he's gonna have some like movable parts here. So let's do it. we go. So one cool thing about him is that he actually had rubber treads, but they gave you the option to, they gave you these like little plastic things to actually like give yourself like movable treads on this tank. So if you wanted like movable treads or something like that, you could actually replace the rubber one that was unmovable on there. So almost there. There we go. And yeah, really simple. It's not like rocket science or anything. But yeah, there he is. There's the robot version. You know, he's kind of got this like these like rocket launcher things. And what's actually even really cool about this is that you can take the little bullet out. Of course, it's probably not going to fall out. Oh man, dead air. Here we go. No, okay, it's great. Yeah, there's like little bullets in there. They don't fire or anything. You just like stick it in there. Yeah, so this is really cool. You could probably, these are actually getting harder and harder to find, like the older first series of figures, but maybe going on, if you are interested in these, maybe going on BigBadToyStore.com might not be a bad idea. They do have other versions. There's like a sand dune buggy type of thing. Then they have like a one-person vehicle thing that kind of turns, I think it's called a Raptor. It like turns into like this like little scout vehicle. So yeah, there's tons of different ones, including like the Laurel here. Both are getting significantly harder to find. There are different editions of the Laurel. So there's like, you know, a rusted version, a construction version where it's all yellow or something like that. So yeah, definitely check out Acid Rain from Ori Toy. Very interesting. So yeah, let's move along. Let's get it going. There we go. Okay. So what should I show next? All right, I think we'll do the 3A figures next. So 3A is a really cool designer action figure company. I have some behind me actually right here. They're very known for their highly articulated figures, but I think their bread and butter is probably the fact that they make like cloth goods for their action figures. So think like vintage G.I. Joes, like the 12-inch tall G.I. Joes, 1/6 scale, and they make like very highly detailed, tailored figures. So we'll take a look at the first one here. This is the box. This is a 1/12 scale figure, so he's around 6 inches tall. This is part of the 3A Action Portable line. There are 9 figures. Again, just really awesome box art. It's a dead cosmonaut, and you'll see that in a second, but just that is such a cool box art right there. So yeah, they have different sizes of these figures, and I collect both. I collect the 1/12 scale a little bit more, but if there's a figure that I really enjoy in the 1/6 line, which we'll see in a second, I usually buy it. So here we go. We'll go with the close shot with this one. Here is the dead cosmonaut. He's like on the chunkier side because of how puffy his suit is. But you can totally see what I was talking about when I brought up the cloth goods. So this is all like this like windbreaker type of material, and it has all this intricate stitch work on there, and all these like pouches and bags, and actual like little clips. Like all of this stuff actually works. Like they have little zippers that actually work, little pouches, little stuff like that. So this just came out maybe a couple months ago. There was a 1/6 scale one, and it like lit up and did all this stuff. And I think that there was a good enough demand for the 1/12 scale one. So when I saw that was going on sale, because there was no way I was going to be able to get the 1/6 scale one. So yeah, I just picked this one up. And he's got all these like little tubes going into all these like different bags and on his like respirator and stuff. But why would he need that? Because he's actually dead. Whoa, look at that. He's got this like really cool skull face, and then he's got like one of those little astronaut hoods on there. So awesome, so dope. And then you can put that on there and open it up. Yeah, these are so cool. I really enjoy taking pictures of these, like setting up a really cool scenery for these, and then like taking some intricate photos with them. Just really, really cool. Yeah, I haven't shown them back yet. Yeah, so this is the one of the 1/12 scale. So this is like around 6 inches tall. And then you can pick these up at worldof3a.com. We have a little website that we can show you. So this is what their website looks like. You can go on there. They have different versions of 3A. So they have, they do highly detailed versions of like the Transformers. They did, Hellraiser one that I have that I'm going to cover in Halloween episode. They do Judge Dredd. They have like so many licenses. I think that they even did a Michael Myers one for Halloween. So definitely check those guys out if you want. Check the website out. They usually tell you where you can buy some stuff. But on the secondhand market, it is harder to find these toys, which definitely sucks because you will be kind of showing out a little bit of money. I don't really want to do that kind of thing. But if I really want a figure, I can't find it. I'll kind of compromise in some way or another. So we have some more 3A figures to look at here. I think we'll do Ninja now. So I have the box for this one as well. Again, really awesome artwork. I believe that the 3A box art is done by Ashley Wood. I'm like 99% positive it is. So this is really cool. I don't know if you guys know, you might know Die Antwoord. They are a South African rap group. And Ninja and Yolandi are actually huge fans of 3A and their action figures. And they decided to make a Ninja action figure. So I have him right here, and here he is in all of his glory. So Ninja's really cool. He's like it's hard to explain him if you don't know who he is. Oh man, it's a little bright, so it's hard to see these. But yeah, so they have, like I said, awesome clothes. It's like highly detailed. He's got all these like tattoos. And what I thought was really cool is that these are actually all his real tattoos. So this is a dude in real life. I should probably like make sure and go out of my way and say that. He's even got 3A tattooed on his kneecaps. So they went through all the painstaking detail of like putting all of his tattoos on his body, So even on his arms here, he's got all the tattoos on his arms. He's got them like on the back of his neck, all over his chest, all that stuff. So they even gave him a wiener, which is just really funny. But it's like attachable and detachable. I think it's hilarious. But yeah, so it perfectly this is totally like their style. They have like these 3A figures have like a certain aesthetic. I think they do follow the Ashley Wood artwork. Kind of very closely. They have like these dotted little beady eyes and very like sharp, rigid looking hair. It's very like, it's like an oil painted anime, I guess is like the easiest way to say it. But yeah, so he does come with 2 swords and he comes with a little microphone, which is really cool. Die Antwoord's a little, risque, so definitely not safe for me to play. Also, I just couldn't, because I'd get in trouble. But check out Die Antwoord if you haven't. You probably won't like it unless you're really into like weird, like German sounding like house music with like rap over it. That's like completely absurd and almost offensive. So. But Ninja's a really cool dude. If you want to find out more about Ninja, go look up his banana pudding story about Kanye West. Every time I'm in a bad mood, I always look up that video from Vice, and I always like have a good chuckle about it. But yeah, Ninja's awesome. Die Antwoord's awesome. 3A is awesome. So we're gonna move on to another 3A figure I have here. This one is probably the coolest one in my collection. This one is called the Evenfall Strigoi. I don't know if you guys watched The Strain at all, but a Strigoi is practically a vampire. It's kind of like your Nosferatu-ish vampire, if you will. So this is the cool box art for this. Not a painting, or is it? Might be a picture. I believe it's a picture. It's kind of like this like gross, surrealistic looking kind of photo and of the Strigoi without his clothes on. And here you go. Here he is. So he's actually like super tall. I think he kind of clocks in around 14 inches tall, I want to say. Could be totally wrong. But yeah, again, with the 3A figures, incredible detail. Like they not only do they do all the stitching and stuff, but they actually like weather it too. So it's not just like, I mean, it is a bright orange suit, but it has like rustic looking detail on it, you know, heavily painted. He's got articulated fingers, which is really cool. You can make them whip the bird at your other figures or something if you want. But yeah, just like really creepy. I love this guy. Like you can take some really creepy photos with this guy. We'll go for a close up for his face here. So he's got this like tiny little head compared to his long body, and he had like these dark eyes, and I thought that it would actually like suit him a little bit better if I gave him some glowing yellow eyes. So that is actually my personal little touch on there. Destroys whatever kind of value that this thing has. I painted it. But yeah, I actually really like this figure. He's been cooped up in his box for a long time, so I've been looking for an excuse to bust all these 3A figures out again, and today was a perfect excuse. So I'm actually having a lot of fun looking at these. He's got these little booties. Again, you just like look at that detail. Like that is awesome weathering. They actually have like this certain kind of smell when you open up the box. It's actually kind of pungent because it's like they use like these like enamel-based paints, so it's kind of stinky. Again with the detail on the hands, like look at that. That is crazy. Really cool. Really cool. So yeah, that is the Strigoi. Really burning through these, aren't we? So that was all that we had for the world of 3A figures. I have some more figures that I want to look at of the designer realm. So these are 1,000 toys. I'm not going to show 1,000 action figures. That's actually the name of it. It's called 1,000 toys. These are actually kind of harder to get a hold of. Usually at like some kind of Comic-Con or like a super festival of some kind or something like that, you could usually pick them up because they'll have a booth there or something. They usually have like exclusives. I think there was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive this year, and it was like a clear one. What am I doing? Let's just get to it. We're going to look at the 1/12 scale ones first. I just dropped something on the floor. So these are the they're like cyborgs. Let's take a look at the regular one first. So here is the box for this one. Really cool artwork on these. These are like highly detailed photographs. Yeah, we could fit this in the close-up. So yeah, just Reflection City. Yeah, check that out. Really cool. And then we get to this like cool, like I love that. Like this is like some kind of like cool like language of theirs or something. So yeah, that's really cool. Very like Blade Runner-esque, you know. It's like kind of like a replicant or like a synthetic human or something. So here's the first one. Yeah, we'll go with the close one on this one. So yeah, these guys are insanely cool looking. I love like all the detail that goes into these. I did get both of these 1/12 scale figure 1/12 scale figures that I'm about to show you. I got these both on BigBadToyStore.com, so you can definitely check that out. It is kind of hard to see with the lights, but the white is very prominent. He's got all these like crazy like little like details in here, you know, like with all the lines in here, and like I love the spine detail, and you can even like change their faces out and stuff. And so these are also very highly articulated. They have double jointed knees, so you can do that praying pose that he was doing like kind of in the beginning. He's got these double jointed elbows, crazy socketed arms. So and he has these like butterfly joints in the arms, so you can get like insane poses out of these things. And I've been having a lot of fun screwing around with like the 1/12 scale 3A figures, and like putting all like the clothes on these guys to like make them look like they're in a disguise of some kind or something. But yeah, there we go. Oh man, it looks great. So yeah, so there we go. Here's the first one. So this is like the 1/12 scale version of the 1/6 version that was first released. So this is like the version of the very first cyborg that 1,000 Toys released. And then now we can look at the cool one. I mean, they're both cool, but I like this one a little bit more. This is like it's like an assassin droid almost, or like some kind of like militarized version of that robot that we just looked at. Here, we'll go close up. Yeah, again, just really, really cool box art. These things are just so interesting. I love the aesthetic. I love the design of these. They're so cool. Like, that just fits right up my alley. I just love that. So here he is. So this is like he's got like a black kind of like streamlined version. He almost like looks like he's like made out of like carbon fiber or something. And then he has like a different foot, so he's kind of like asymmetrical. He's got on his right leg here, he's got this like three-toed foot, and then you can actually like take out this like little blade on his foot, kind of like X-23 or something. And then he's got one on his hand. But the big one is that he's got this like cool sword that he can like push out of his hand here. So there we go. There you can see it. It's kind of, yeah, very very hard to see, but yeah, it's kind of like this like two-pronged, like fork sword thing that he's got going on. So they come bust in somewhere. It reminds me of Ghost in the Shell a little bit, with like their synthetic bodies. And then I love also the asymmetry with the mask design. It's got like one like eye there. And I actually have the big version of this guy, so I think that we'll actually take a look at that. But first, we'll look at their website. You can check out their website at usually, anytime that you have internet. Go check that out. But yeah, these are some of their new 1/12 scale figures. Those are really, really cool. They have I like that like hunched over one and stuff. Very, very cool. So yeah, here we go. Okay. So now we have the 1/6 scale version. So this is the box that he comes in. It's very streamlined, very, very, it's like mysterious almost. And then the inside is like padded with foam, but it has like this really cool poster inside. It's like really hard to get open, and it'll take too long. So I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste your time. Here he is. So this is the larger version. Of the exact same figure I just showed you. This one's just taller. So now we can actually see all the details that this guy has. So with the smaller figures, you can actually, and with this large figure, you can actually, I'll take his mask off here, and you can actually like screw around with their eyeballs. You can, it has this like tool where, here it is, and we'll go to the close. It has this like, this thing that you can, this tool, I'll actually take his face off, but first we'll get a good look. So he's got this like cool skull face, and then like I was just talking about that asymmetrical design with like the one red eye. You can actually, it's like hollow there, and you can like see through it, so you can actually like see his little crazy wonky looking eyeballs, or eyeball I should say. So I'm trying to remember, it's been a while since I played with these. I think, yeah, okay. Yeah, you take off the back of the head, and then I'll turn around the figure, and you can see these things here. You can like make his eyes go in different directions. So you want him to look up. Oops, his face fell off. Where'd it go? Okay, there it is. First total mishap on the show ever. That's crazy, right? First time for everything. But yeah, so yeah, you can like mess around with his eyes. I'm like taking apart this whole thing. Yeah, these are so cool. I like this one was like I got it for myself because I had a small victory in life, and those are fleeting. So I thought I'd treat yourself, and so I got this for myself. These are just so cool. Again, I really like taking pictures of these. They can get in like insane poses and stuff. Like check that out. Like he's just like all down on his, he's like ready to kill some, some other thing or something. And then I really love how they have. This one's cool too. So that again, like what was on that smaller figure, which is way more prominent on this figure. He's got these like cool pronged sword type things, and man, those are cool. They look very, very lethal, very lethal. Yeah, so this is really, really cool. I really like these figures. They're definitely hard to find. They're definitely hard to get a hold of. I would say if you are interested in these figures, probably pick up the we just saw their website. They have some of their newer figures coming out like relatively soon. So I think that and they're on the 6-inch scale. So you could probably pick those up on Big Bad Toy Store for pre-order right now. So I highly recommend you do that. But yeah, so this was like a little short and sweet show. I just wanted to show off some of the designer toys that I have in my collection. I don't have, or designer action figures, I should say. I mean, I don't have too many, but like the Acid Rain figures, I in and out of collecting. I should have some of those actually coming in pretty soon. So, maybe we could do a smaller, like, little review episode or something like that. That'd be fun. But yeah, guys, so that was our show today. Kind of on the shorter side, but that's okay. Be sure to follow the Bunker Network on YouTube and Twitch. If you like this video or any other video for that matter, please hit that subscribe button and the like button. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at VideoVomit. And yeah, so that was it today, guys. So until next time, guys, same bunker time, same bunker place. Stay alive, stay safe. Sayonara.